Bring our sound back, please, my brother.
I was about to say, man, what happened to Norwood? I was waiting on you to show up. uh, well, y'all know what it is. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 173 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined, we are your HBCU homeboys. You could be anywhere else in the world, and you came and kicked it with me and Reggie on a Monday night. We appreciate you. Let's get to it,
Definitely
my friend.
appreciate y'all, man. Definitely appreciate y'all. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. We just finished making fun of Kobe Covington on the pregame. RIP, T's and P's to the Gumbo family. Greg Gumbo,
We
one of the
not
best to ever
done.
do it.
We not done. Got many more jokes for that man. I like it. I
Uh,
like to see him get punched in the face.
Yeah, man. And I like that we ended on the MAGA issue or close to it of Kobe Covington getting punched in the face. And then we jump right into HBCU news around the culture. And we talk about one of the blackest performances
Black,
that we've
y'all.
seen
We blackity black. We black.
at the, what was it? It was the Ravens Texans game for Christmas with
Christmas
Beyonce.
Netflix Beyonce. Well, let's clean this up.
Hey!
Hey, yes, I don't shoot. Let's clear this up.
They gonna be
It's
right there.
very important. So, what Reggie is referring to, what we're going to talk about, is the Beyonce Christmas special. They also had a football game between the Texans and the Ravens. Nobody cares about the football game, and the result proved that to be true. But we here for Beyonce, and we love the Beehive, and hopefully the Beehive loves us. That's it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, man. So what I'm really loving, and I've seen more and more, unfortunately, we tend to unite when there's a struggle, and I think we're starting to see a struggle coming. We see the storm coming with the attack on education. We talked about it in the pregame
on everything.
with E and V out here trying to tell everybody they stupid. And that they are not talented enough to hire moving forward. So unfortunately, but fortunately, that's caused the culture to pretty much embrace itself. And there's been an uptick in all types of black culture, as there always is. Texas Southern was able to perform halftime with Beyonce dressed in all white, and it was one of the better, more electrifying performances. As we know, those two games had like 100 million viewers. So shout out to Texas Southern. Shout out to Brian. You're doing a great thing.
Yeah, the Ocean of Soul Marching Band.
Ocean of Soul.
They did a fantastic job. They've also been at the Super Bowl, the 2013 All-Star pregame, 2018 NCAA Final Four, the 2014 Hall of Fame induction parade, the 2017 Houston Asterix World Series victory parade, the HEB Thanksgiving parade, and a myriad of other events. I love the level of activity that I've seen across the lexicon when it comes to HBCUs. They find a way to be active. They find a way to be visible. They find a way to be influential. And that kind of leads us into the next part of this.
Before we do that, I do want to send a shout out to Beyonce for not only that whole performance, but including HBCUs as much as she does. She doesn't have to, and she does. So shout out to Beyonce as well.
Her and Hove have a very unique understanding, or they have people close to them to understand. They make sure to be the details, the minorest of details are very important. And they did a whole breakdown. They're gonna do a way better breakdown than I can. And I'm sure y'all have Google, YouTube, and everything else. But everything that they did was very intentional as far as the details. And I appreciate that she finds a way to make sure that HBCUs are at the forefront no matter what she does.
Yeah, man, it was pretty dope. It was definitely pretty dope.
The rest of y'all could get a lesson here.
Speaking of lessons, so I want to know. How do we feel about this? Mississippi Valley State, the marching band is set to perform in Trump's inauguration parade, or they are trying. They were invited to, but they have to raise $350,000 that the band has asked for fellow alumni to send the band to Washington, D.C. to march in the inauguration parade. There's been a lot of backlash. A lot of people for, a lot of people against. I'll let you go first. I always
Number
jump out
one,
there.
if you're going to ask us for money as black people and people who are black, which we are, I would rather send you the money and you not go. I would rather y'all just keep the money and invest the money into the band instead of supporting something and supporting a person. I understand the opportunity and what may be visibility, but this person has made it very clear he doesn't support us or anything about us, and has no respect for us. So for me, it's a no. But if you wanted some money from me, I would probably send you some money not to go. I also want you to be very cognizant of a person who was a person and then kind of faded into anonymity, Chrisette Michelle. You remember she sung at his inauguration and her career was never really the same. She's still fighting for her life. So every opportunity ain't the best opportunity. And I'll leave it at that.
I was trying to like see both sides of it. I mean, other schools have performed in Republican or GOP inaugurations. Other HBCUs have. I think Southern has. I think
Different climate, different
Texas
party.
Southern. I think there's been a whole bunch of other schools. But this just seems wrong because of everything you highlighted and Trump being and representing what he has represented. I don't want to call. It seems.
I don't.
It seems. I'm not gonna say that. I know they need money. I like the fact that the idea of coming up and say, "Hey, we will give you the money to not go. We will give you the money to stay there." Mississippi Valley State, your alumni, SWAC alumni, anybody that can give. If we could raise that money for them to stay, and you apply it to the school, I'm all for it. Money always talks. Yeah. That's why they're going, because they're getting paid.
Yeah, and I would.
Or getting notoriety. I should.
You know me. I'm king of the foolishness. I'll be the main one. Hey, we'll pay you to stay at home. You know, I'm pretty active, and sometimes people probably say I have too many opinions about Hampton, and it is what it is. But one thing for sure is what we represent matters. And this is not about Republican or Democrat, because we have people who fall on both sides of the aisle. And I think for a vast majority, yeah, and I think, yes, that is the unique qualifier, especially right now, is that you need people on both sides. Nobody's ever going to fall all the way on this side. Nobody's going to fall all the way on the other side. But the thing here is the bigotry, the racism, the hatred, everything that he represents. I wouldn't hope that HBCUs don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it at that. I won't beat a dead horse. Look,
beat it.
We need to support our own so that we don't have to look for support from others. Especially, we don't have to go out there and sing and dance just to get acceptance.
And support from others is okay, but align yourself with others who have the same values, morals, and beliefs that you do. Not just any others. Because I like others. We need others and others need us. That's just, we live on this same planet together.
I mean, that's always been the goal of Dive Team Media, is to be able, I said it before in a previous podcast, a previous episode. It's not the fact that we have the left and the right. For us, for our community, we, like you said, we need Black Republicans, we need Black conservatives and Black liberals. You can't be 100% conservative and you can't be 100% liberal. But what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is,
to a place, oh my bad, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, you need to be able to bring that conversation to us. We don't have a conversation between Black liberals and Black conservatives. We have a conversation between conservatives and liberals, and we're just in there. We need to have a conversation with us, for us, by us. No FUBU, or shout out to FUBU, however you want to do it. But it should be Black conservatives, Black black liberals having the conversations versus having the conversations with those on the outside. And I think them going to the inauguration represents us going and accepting or participating in people of the outside that don't have our best interests at
Supporting
heart.
this this specific group of people will use that as a vouch or approval of their actions. And what I was going to say was, if there's ever a space where there are no black people, it's probably a clan meeting or a cult.
One or the other, right? It's got to be one or the
If
other.
you get, and I'm telling this for people who are not black, if you look around, don't see black people, you, you can end up on HBO or Netflix documentary for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's move on. Move on. So, um, coaching hires. Of course, we already talked about Michael Vick going to be the head coach at Norfolk State. Another move, Deshaun Jackson has now accepted the head coaching position at Delaware State. Two former Eagles teammates now go to head up these teams. Um, I like the Vic hire. I'm a little shocked at the Deshaun Jackson hire. That one kind of caught me off guard. I hadn't seen him coach or even express an interest in coaching.
If I remember correctly, I think Deshaun Jackson's father was like a trainer or a coach himself. Uh, and I think that that's where he got the inspiration from. Of course, if I'm wrong, y'all, please don't jump down my throat. But if I remember correctly, I think that might be it. Um, and much success to both of these guys. But I need you to understand, like, this is just the beginning. You know, you can ask Eddie George. They start asking about land grant. It's not about just X's and Joe's. It's not about Jimmy and Joe's. You are now the CEO of an organization. You are the face. You are the face. You are the voice, and I mean, you're the chess player. You're making these moves, and we take this very seriously because this is all we really have. So we expect you to take it seriously and leave it better than you found it.
Yeah. I hope Deshaun Watson takes this seriously and it's not looked at as a joke. I hope that they reach out to Coach Prime, as Michael Vick already has. I hope he reaches out to Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and reaches out to other coaches in the MEAC and SWAC and understand what this represents and what this means for us. Don't go up there thinking that this is a joke, because it's not. We're at a pivotal time in our history of being able to build our own community and build our own. So I hope that Deshaun Watson understands how important this is, just like Michael Vick has expressed how important this is to lead in his community. I know Delaware State is only like an hour and 17 minutes from Philly, so it's not like it's far. So it's depending on where you're from. Like if you're in Texas, that ain't nothing but a suburb. So um, I know Deshaun Watson will do well. Well, I hope he does well.
Yeah, and for me, I talked to some people at Del State. They happy.
Yes, yes.
I know that
they have invested a lot in that that program.
I know that sometimes it's like, oh, this is the flashy thing. You got this young guy who was, he was a damn good football player though, and he was fast, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So if anybody can tell you about what it takes to be a good NFL player and not be the ideal size, it's this guy. Mm-hmm. But the Del State people are happy, and I know that some people are like, oh, this looks like just everybody. This is the cool new thing to do, but you don't know what people came from. So for them, everything that I've heard, they're extremely happy about this. Look forward to the program moving in the right direction. And it is a program that's been struggling. So yeah, let's get some money and let's get some notoriety and let's hopefully get some people who can move this program in the right direction.
Yeah, I do hope that Coach Prime, what it seems like he's done at Jackson State is create the pipeline. I hope that if you do decide to leave and you do decide to go to a larger school, more money, you remember that this is a give and take. The biggest issue we always had with Coach Prime was you acted like you were the gift. And you got to realize that Nobody was going to hire. Not saying that you guys didn't deserve it, but there were going to be a lot of uh, uh, barriers that you had to break down in order to get hired as a head coach. If it wasn't for HBCUs, so
Right.
you didn't have any head coaching experience. We needed a head coach. We need to change a culture. You're talking about being a culture change. I need you to do all of those things and understand that this is bigger than you. And we appreciate it. And as long as you come with love, we come with love.
Right.
Mm.
And hey, and black people sensitive now. You don't get over there. They'll be
And that's exactly why I put this in the Tyreek Hill. Now, I don't know if you was joking. I'm hoping you weren't. I'm hoping that you have expressed in the past that you wanted to coach. This is not a laughing matter. You tweeted out, "Have my HBCU gig ready when you retire." That ain't no. Hey, that's cool. It's funny. Ha 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 ha. But this ain't no laughing matter, dude. Either you come correct or you keep the jokes to yourself. We don't play about HBCUs here.
I don't. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say what another man, what I interpreted. I want to say, hopefully he came with the right intentions. And I mean, he's from Coffee County, Georgia. Once
He knows
again,
all about it.
Right.
You know all about it.
You're right there, my boy. So, if you genuinely want to do this, that's the one thing about our community and what we believe in is we're inclusionary. Like Reggie said, as long as you lead with love, then we will always lead with love and love you. And I mean, even like Hugh Jackson, it didn't work out at Grambling, but nobody has a bad thing to say about him for sure.
Nope.
But if you want to do
shout out to Sneaky.
the opportunity, the opportunity will be there. And once again, just do right by us, and we'll do right by you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, moving on. Hey, again, this, I don't know if it's because we're paying more attention to it and it's getting more notoriety, but this has been one of the best off seasons for HBCU football in a long time. We already talked about Vic and Deshaun. We already talked about TC doing what he did. Travis Hunter representing Colorado and Jackson State along with Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh Sanders. We've talked about so many. Valdosta State's head coach Tremaine Jackson leaving Valdosta State and coming to Prairie View. Prairie View. More money, of course, but he's also from Houston. And as we said before, a lot of coaches don't leave those type of programs and come to HBCUs. They normally go to a larger PWI. So, again, now you have Alabama A&M University brought Sam Shade in. If you heard that name before, he is Miles, the former head coach of Miles, where he led the team to its first SIAC championship and a playoff appearance. As of December 29th, the announcement was made by Director of Athletics, Dr. Paul A. Bryant. Sam Shade, the new head coach at Alabama A&M.
Also, you may know his name from the 90s when he was an NFL player. I think that's one of the things that kind of gets mixed up is you've had a lot of guys who've been involved with the NFL, played in the NFL, who come back to HBCUs, but they're not. I mean, Bubba McDowell, he same thing. There have been a ton of guys who come and coached, and people are like, oh, all these NFL players. No, that's always kind of been a thing. It's just when you have Dion hit the scene, it makes it seem like he's the first or the only, and it's actually been a constant thing. I would say at least since like the 90s.
Yeah, 100%, especially with coordinators and guys becoming head coach. What I really like about this hiring is that he came from Miles to Alabama A&M. Again, creating our own ecosystem. We're starting to see black coaches, and I think we've seen it alone, but now we're starting to see it being covered, of coaches rising up the ranks from Division I AA, Division II NIA, up to SIAC to CIAA to MEAC to SWAC and all of these things. And I hope that we continue to have that pipeline, and we get to see the recycling of the coaches as well.
Yeah,
That's really what the gatekeeping is in FBS and NFL is they take one dude could get Matt Eberflus got fired at game 10. He would be a coordinator, a quarterbacks coach or
Robert Saleh.
something.
Robert
Robert
Saleh.
Saleh within the next 2-3
2,
months.
3 weeks. No, 2, 3 weeks. He was on that roster. He's out as a consultant. All that means is we're gonna hold you here for the rest of the season. And if we fire somebody, you'll probably take this job. If not, you'll have the stench like Robert Saleh. He won't have any of the Jets on him anymore, and he'll go into the season next season with the same thing. And I think that's what probably got me a little upset about it was everybody's like, oh, these NFL players. It's always been the NFL players. Now, the difference is you have more NFL players with limited or no coaching history who are going right into head coaching positions. And I can understand, I can see both sides of that, where that's a privilege. But with the privilege comes other privileges. But you also have guys who've lived this. This has been their life's work and may not always get the opportunity. It's a giving and taking everything now. But around here, money talks.
Money definitely talks. Money definitely talks. So, hey, man, I like the way that HBCU athletics are going. Time will tell when we'll see if everything and intentions are pure. But as long as everything is worked out the way it's supposed to, I think it's a win-win for everybody.
I definitely think that high tides have raised the ships. You see more people putting in more effort. Especially, that's one of the things that the rivalry has to do for you. Hampton is now in that type of situation where, Norfolk State has Michael Vick. The pressure is on us to figure out a way to increase our branding, and at the same time, we still got to beat them. And it's going to be different now. Mike Vick is the head coach. It's going to be more TV cameras and microphones over there. But once again, y'all see it. I bleed blue.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you got to win.
First, you got to get off probation. But we'll get at that later. More Norfolk State news. Norfolk State got their second win over SEC team this year. The women upset Auburn 63-57, led by Diamond Johnson, who has 17 points. They led throughout and won wire to wire over Norfolk State over Auburn. The first win was over Mizzou 57-54 last month in November. So Norfolk State, man, they're on it right now. They kind of like the Jackson State of the MEAC.
And quietly, I forgot to put this on here, but Norfolk State's men's basketball beat High Point. And after the game, they interviewed the coach. And the coach was like, yeah, they all picked us to lose. I don't know why. They only in the CAA. You got that smoke, my boy. I like that, though.
Hampton, boy.
I think that he was offended that it's High Point University, bro. Who do you think you are that? And I'm talking about, I guess they had picked him by like 14 points. I think he was offended that you think that this CAA school is just so much better than us.
I mean,
that's why you beat
football wise, yeah. But basketball wise, MEAC be kind of dominating basketball wise.
Y'all know me. I'm a firm believer of just play them. And if you win, then you can talk. If you lose, then you got to walk. It's that simple.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So right now we are going to take what we call drink break. So we get through the pregame, we get through HBCU news. We try to make sure that we are coherent, that we are relaying information.
Upset alert. 49ers and the Lions in a dogfight. 49ers 21, Lions 19 at the beginning of the third. Did not see this. Not on my bingo card. Oh, Brock Purdy paying for his money.
Money. All right, y'all take a break. Y'all go get y'all a beverage. We'll be right back. We're going to get a beverage as well. We're going to talk about college football quarterfinals preview. And then Norwood, we're going to talk about a couple bowl games. And Norwood's going to talk about the Gators. He's tricking himself into liking Billy now. Y'all stay tuned. We will be right back.
Yep. Until next time. Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Be here for it.